Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start with functional grammar. Under functional grammar, today we are going to start with a very important chapter, that is transformation of sentences. If you look at your ISC or ICSE question paper, you will see that a certain portion is completely dedicated to transformation of sentences. Now, transformation of sentences, this particular chapter is very important because it allows the students to express themselves in a variety of ways. It allows a student to write a sentence in a variety of ways. So, let us get started. Under transformation of sentences, you will see that there are several chapters of grammar that are compressed under transformation of sentences. So our first topic under transformation of sentences is interchange between active and passive voice. Now, before we start with active and passive voice and how we can interchange between the two, we first need to understand certain basic principles related to active and passive voice. So now, in order to understand these concepts better, I will give you an example, a very simple sentence like, I eat rice. Now, in this particular sentence, if we break up the sentence, we will see that I is our subject, eat is the verb, and we have another word, rice. Now, if I ask the verb this particular question, what do I eat? I receive an answer that is rice. That rice is our object. If I ask the verb this particular question, what? Then I am receiving not only an answer but a sensible answer. This makes proper, complete sense that what do I eat? I eat rice. So rice is our object. Now let us look at another sentence. Suchi helps Raman. Now in this sentence also we have Suchi as our subject, helps is our verb, and if we ask the verb this particular question, helps whom, we receive an answer that is Raman. Suchi helps whom? Raman. Here also we are not only receiving an answer but the answer makes complete sense. So Raman is our object. So by looking at these two sentences, we arrive at a definition of object. What is that definition? If we ask the verb the question what or whom, then the answer that we receive is our object. Okay? We need to keep this idea of object in our mind before we proceed to the next section. Now, there are other important elements that we need to keep in mind as well. What are those elements? We need to understand what is a transitive verb and what is an intransitive verb. Now, let us go back to our sentences, the very simple sentences that I had given you. I eat rice, or Suchi helps Raman. In these two sentences, we have two verbs. In the first sentence, we have the verb eat, and in the second sentence, we have the verb helps. And we see that these two verbs have two objects. Now, a transitive verb is a verb that has an object. Okay, in these two sentences, I eat rice and Suchi helps Raman. In these two sentences, the verbs, since they have objects, these two verbs are transitive verbs. So very simply put, transitive verb is a verb which has an object. Okay, I believe that this idea of transitive verb is clear to you all. Now, similarly, then what is an intransitive verb? If we look at this particular sentence, that the fire burns brightly. In this particular sentence, you will see that if in this particular sentence, the verb is burns, the fire burns brightly. If we ask the question, the fire burns what? Brightly is not making any sense. So we are not getting an answer to the question what. If we ask the fire burns whom, then also we are not receiving any answer. If we ask the question how, then we are receiving an answer. But then brightly is certainly not an object, because when we are asking the question what or whom to the verb burns, we are not receiving any sensible answer. So in this particular sentence, the verb burns does not have an object. Here brightly is modifying the verb burns. Burns how? Burns brightly. So here brightly is your adverb, but it is not an object, as it is not answering the question what or whom. So in this particular sentence, the verb burns does not have an object. So burns is an intransitive verb. So simply put, an intransitive verb is a verb that does not have an object. So this is very important. The ideas of subject and object, transitive and intransitive verb, all these concepts are very important when you are proceeding to transform the sentence from active to passive voice or vice versa. So it is important to keep in mind these important ideas. I hope these ideas are clear, because these are very simple ideas. Now, I would like to add another information to whatever I have been saying. Object, you will see that I eat rice. Here, the object rice, it is not actively performing any action. Object is always at the receiving end. Rice is receiving the action, that is, it is being eaten. Similarly, Suchi helps Raman. In this particular sentence, Raman is receiving the help. So object is always at the receiving end. So these concepts, if you keep in mind, it will be very easy for you all to transform a particular sentence from active to passive, or from passive to active. Now you need to test whether you have understood the concepts that I have just discussed. So I will read out 8 sentences. You will kindly pause the video and try to solve those sentences. And once you are done, please again watch the video. I'll give you the answers. So please take down the sentences. Your first sentence, you will have to identify transitive and intransitive verbs from the following sentences. So please take down these sentences. Number 1, Columbus discovered America. Number 2, his teacher praises him. Number 3, the sun shines brightly. Number 4, the clock stopped this morning. Number 5, the sun rises in the east. Number 6, the mason is building the wall. Number 7, the moon rose early. And number 8, Rama was making a kite. Please pause the video and take your own time to solve these sentences. So, I hope you have solved the sentences. Let's discuss the answers. Number 1, Columbus discovered America. Here your verb is discovered. And if you ask the question, Columbus discovered what? You receive an answer that is America. America is the object. So here in this particular sentence, discovered is a transitive verb because it has an object. Okay. Number 2, his teacher praises him. Here, praises is your verb, and if you ask this question, praises whom, you receive a sensible answer that is him. Him is your object, and since in this sentence the verb praises has an object, so again praises is a transitive verb. Let us look at sentence number 3. The sun shines brightly. Here, if you ask the question, shines what? You do not receive a sensible answer. Shines whom? Again, you do not receive a sensible answer. Here, shines is your verb and brightly is simply modifying the verb shines. So it is not an object because here you do not receive a sensible answer after you ask the question what or whom. So here shines does not have an object. So this particular verb is an intransitive verb. Number 4, the clock stopped this morning. Again, your verb in this sentence is stopped. And here if you ask the question stopped what, you do not receive a sensible answer. Stopped whom, then also you do not receive a sensible answer. So here you do not have an object in this particular sentence, and stopped as a verb does not have an object. So in this sentence, stopped is an intransitive verb. Now let us look at sentence 5. The sun rises in the east. Again, if you ask the question to rises, the verb of the sentence, rises what? It does not make any sense. Rises whom? Again, it does not make any sense. So since we are not receiving answers to this particular questions, so rises does not have an object. So here rises is an intransitive verb. Now let us look at sentence number 6. The mason is building the wall. Here the verb is building, and if you ask this question, the mason is building what? You get a sensible answer, that is the wall. Wall is your object. So here the verb building has an object. So building is a transitive verb. Now let us look at sentence number 7. The moon rose early. Here if you ask the question to the verb rose, rose what? The moon rose what? You do not receive a sensible answer. Rose whom? Then also you do not receive a sensible answer. So we come to this conclusion that rose does not, the verb rose does not have an object in the sentence. So again, rose is an intransitive verb in this particular sentence. Now our final sentence, Rama was making a kite. Here our verb is making. And if we ask the question, Rama was making what? We receive an answer that is a kite. So kite is our object, and since in this particular sentence the verb making has an object, so making is a transitive verb. I believe that you all could correctly solve it. If you have any further question or doubts regarding transitive or intransitive verb, please write it in the comment section. I will get back to you. We have other chapters coming up, other portions coming up related to active and passive. Please keep watching. I'll again meet you all in the next video. If you like my work, please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So please do that so that I get enough encouragement to continue with my work. Thank you, students. I will again meet you soon.